Hello, good morning students. Welcome back to the 9th standard social classes. Dear student, in this class we are going to discuss about Bahmani kingdoms. Bahmani kingdom. In the previous class we discussed about the origin of Bahmani kingdom, founder of Bahmani kingdom, Muhammad Gawan and Ibrahim Shah II. These were the aspects that we discussed in the last class. Today we are going to study the another concept in the same title, under the same title, that is revenue, military and judicial system. My dear pupil, in this class we are going to deal with the Bahmani kingdom. How did the Bahmani kingdom maintain the revenue system, military system and the judicial system? I hope that you understood very well about the Vijayanagara empire and how did it control the entire revenue system and how did it develop the military reforms. Along with that, how Vijayanagara rulers or kings were maintaining the judicial system in Vijayanagara Empire. Pupil, in Vijayanagara Empire, when we are going to correlate, why should we correlate these two dynasties? Because these two, Vijayanagara and Bahmani, are the contemporary kingdoms or contemporary emperor. So that is why we should have some correlation with these two. When we come to revenue system in Vijayanagara, see those rulers, they encouraged some irrigation facility to increase the agricultural activities and they got a heavy income to the government as tax. And here, and when we compare this military system was also very good at Vijayanagara administrative style. And judicial, when we come to judicial matter of Vijayanagara Empire, the king or the emperor will be the supreme person in issue of judicial matter. When we come to the provincial government in Vijayanagara Empire, the provincial officers looked after the judicial matters in provinces. So these were the matters that we discussed in the last class. In this class, now we are going to deal Bahmani kingdom. How did Bahmani kingdom have revenue system, judicial system and military reforms? Let us see. Dear student, Amir-e-Jumlas. What is that? Amir-e-Jumlas. Amir-e-Jumlas. So what is this? Yes, my dear pupil, Amir-e-Jumlas is nothing but the head of revenue authorities. See, it was the post created by the sultans of Bahmani, and he was looking after the entire revenue system during the time of Bahmani kingdom. Amir-e-Jumlas, these were the officers, the head of the revenue authority during the time of Bahmani kings. And land tax was the main sources of income for the kingdom. My dear student, land tax would be the main source of the income to the kingdom. When we come to Vijayanagara Empire, in those areas, see agricultural production and many taxes were existed there. Agricultural productions was the main sources in Vijayanagara ruler. Here, land tax was the main source for the income of the Bahmani kingdom. And then 1 by 3rd to 1 by 2. Dear student, 1 by 3rd to 1 by 2. Listen carefully. 1 by 3rd or 1 by 2 or half after agricultural production was collected as land tax. Think about it. See, when we compare the land tax, when we compare the agricultural production, when we compare the quantity that the farmers were giving to Bahmani as well as Vijayanagara Empire. Dear student, when we are discussing in Vijayanagara Empire, see 1 by 4th of the income. Now I am quoting that Vijayanagara Empire. During the time of Vijayanagara Empire, 1 by 4th of their agricultural production was given to the government as their land tax or tax. But here in Bahmani, this is Bahmani Vijayanagara. During the time of Bahmani kingdom, 1 by 3rd to 1 by 2 or half of their agricultural production was given as the land tax to the government. So here we can observe that more burden was pressured on farmers. Got it? So this was the land tax. And then there were 50 kinds of taxes were existed in the Bahmani kingdoms, like Vijayanagara Empire, including taxes on a house, and then mining activities or mines, and then tobacco productions, and then grasslands, trade and employment. So these were the taxes were collected by the government during the time of Bahmani kingdom. Then the money earned by taxation was used for the maintenance of palaces. Dear student, during the time of Bahmani, the tax which was earned by the government was spent or was used for the maintenance of palaces, forts, wars, and to upliftment of bodyguards, and to give the facilities of the bodyguards who were appointed to kings, and then construction and maintenance of fort and palaces. So this tax was used for the purpose like construction, maintenance of forts and palaces, and then wars and bodyguards. So this was the system of revenue system. And then the Bahmani kingdom depended on strength of the military force. Dear student, the Bahmani kingdom completely depended on their soldiers or military officers. Why? Because of this, military force was only one way to Bahmani kingdoms to extend their territory or kingdom. So that is why these sultans in the Bahmani kingdoms were dependent on military force or military power. Military expenditure was also very huge, very high, and it was very expensive. Military expenditure was very expensive. So for this reason, more number of taxes were used to military expenditure. And then they had 4 types of armed forces or armed troops. Dear student, in Bahmani kingdom we could see there were 4 types of armed troops, which are the permanent troop. What is that? The permanent troop. And the second one is troops required during wartime. We can also call this as a temporary troop. These required only for the time of war. Second thing. Got it? And the third thing is troops for religious wars. Troops for religious war and units for the protection of Sultan. Got it? And also to protection of palaces. So this kind of a military system was existed during the time of Bahmani Empire. And then, my dear pupil, see infantry, cavalry, elephants, and more number of explosives. More number of explosives were also used during the time of Bahmani ruling. Explosives unit were also very important divisions of the army during the time of Bahmani kings. Then Bijapur fort, very important thing, my dear pupil. Bijapur fort was the most formidable of the Adil Shahi fort. Got it? So Bijapur was most formidable for Adil Shahi forts. And then the Sultan was the supreme in the matter of judicial issues. Dear student, Sultan will always be the supreme position, or he will take the supreme decision in the matter of judicial issues. He ruled according to the prevailing customs. And also, more number of sultans during the time of Bahmani kingdoms were ruling on the basis of the principles and rules and regulations and the policies of their religion. Got it? And also prevailing customs, traditions and principles of the Islamic religion. All these sultans, they were ruling on the basis of the principles and the policies of Islamic religions. Dear student, when we compare this Vijayanagara Empire and the Bahmani kingdom, see here, when we go to Vijayanagara Empire, all emperors were called as religious tolerants or religious tolerant. All kings were given ample scopes to all the people from all the caste and religions. And especially the people who come from Islamic religion, they would get a higher position in the army, where in Vijayanagara Empire. Got it? Dear student, here, when we come to Bahmani kingdom, here, more number of sultans, they were ruling according to the principles and traditions, customs of Islamic religion. And then, Qazis and senior officers assisted to the Sultan in dispensing justice. My dear pupil, Qazi, especially Qazis, listen. K-A-Z-I, Qazis, yes. Qazis, these were the senior officers who were assisting to the Sultan in the matter of judicial issues. Got it? And these were appointed in the court. And then, due to their efficient administration, the state witnessed the progress in the economic, social and cultural field. Dear student, due to the efficient administration of all the sultans, the entire state of Bahmani kingdom reached the pinnacle of glory. Especially, it was witnessed, the whole state was witnessed to the more progress in economical field, social field, and cultural field. So these are very important aspects, my dear pupil, and this is the revenue, military, and judicial system during the time of Bahmani kingdom. Now, let us discuss about the economical and social as well as religious conditions of the kingdom. Yes, let us see. What is that? Economy. Economic, and then social and religious system during the time of Bahmani sultans or Bahmani ruling. My dear pupil, see, when we come to Bahmani sultans, the agriculture, when we come to Bahmani sultan, especially in the matter of economical condition, in the Vijayanagara Empire, agriculture was the backbone to the whole kingdom. We came to know this when we were discussing in the Vijayanagara Empire. Yes, in the same sense, here also, in Bahmani kingdom, the agricultural activities were the main sources of their income, and agriculture was the main occupation in the villages. And then spinning, and then oil extraction, and then production of sugar and jaggery, and manufacture of sugar and jaggery, and then thread weaving, and then leather work, the pottery work, carpentry, goldsmithy, perfumery, and sculpture were also practiced in this system. And a number of workers could be seen during the time of Bahmani sultans. And then, my dear pupil, see, there were ports. There were port in Dabhol, Rajapura, Chawla, and Goa. My dear pupil, ports were also existed during the time of Bahmani kings. Silk, wine, gold, silver, copper, tin, lead, and glasses were the main importing materials or goods. A trade and employment organization were in existence. My dear pupil, this is a very important thing. Trade and organization, especially trade organization or employment organization were existed in those times during the time of Vijayanagara Empire. And then gold coins were also came into existence. These gold coins were called as Ponnu. How they are called? Yes, Ponnu. These are gold coins. And then these kind of gold coins were in circulation during the time of Bahmani. And silver coins were also existed in that time. These were known as Lori. How? Lori. These are silver coins. These are silver coins. And Tanka were in circulation. So this is the economical system of Vijayanagara Empire. And along with that, when we come to the social system, how the social system was existed during the time of Bahmani. Very interesting matter, my dear pupil. See, undivided patriarchal family. My dear pupil, I explained or I gave a definition in the last class when I was teaching family. lesson. Got it? What is called a patriarchal family? Yes, the family which is headed by father. That is called patriarchal family. See, what is the opposite of patriarchal? Yes, matriarchal. What is called matriarchal family? Yes, matriarchal family is nothing but a family which is headed by mother. So likewise here, undivided. I am telling about the social system of Bahmani kingdom. Undivided patriarchal families continued in the society. My dear pupil, here in the time of Bahmani, undivided patriarchal family could be seen in this time, isn't it? So it shows that there was no prohibition to the development of matriarchal families. So it is a common phenomenon in the society. And then a caste system was in practice during the time of Bahmani. Caste system was in practice, and also polygamy was also in practice. What is meant by polygamy? Yes, polygamy means having one wife. That is called polygamy. What is opposite of polygamy? Yes, bigamy. Got it? Yes, like that. Polygamy was also existed. Then Haridasas, Bhakti Panth, and Muslims, Sufi saints tried to imbibe tolerance in the society. Bhakti Panth, Haridasas of Bhakti Panth, and Muslims, Sufi saints, they tried to uphold the religious tolerance in the society. And in Muslim society, Sunni, Shia, Syed, Sheikh, and Pathan, this kind of small divisions could be seen in the Muslim society during the time of Bahmani sultans. And then Muslims women practiced the burqa system. Dear pupil, Muslims women were practiced the burqa system during the time of Vijayanagara Empire. And then when we come to education, what is that system of education, how it was? So very interesting, that education. Education, art and architecture. Okay. Architecture. Let us see how the education system during the time of Vijayanagara rulers. My dear pupil, see, the educational policy of Adil Shahis was to propagate Islamic culture. Dear student, here education system was also on the basis of Islamic principles. Especially Adil Shahi was given more importance. Yes, more importance was given by Adil Shahi to educational policies on the basis of Islamic culture. There were schools known as maktabs. There were schools called as maktab. Maktabs were the schools during the time of Bahmani, and they were under the control of mosques. All these schools and colleges were under the control of mosques. Then the students in the maktabs were taught. See, what kind of education was given there in the schools or maktabs, like the alphabet, religion, poetry, and then law, and then rhetoric, So this kind of educational system was existed during the time of Bahmani kingdom, especially the alphabets, and then religion, law, poetry were the major aspects in the educational system. And also the madrasas could be seen. Madrasas were centers of higher education. Madrasas can be compared to colleges. Even today we can see this kind of madrasas, but these are not working properly. Yeah, got it. And then Muhammad Gawan, who was a scholar himself, established a madrasa college at Bidar. My dear pupil, the tip of Karnataka state, Bidar district is there. You can see madrasa. It was established by Muhammad Gawan. It was also called as college. To encourage only the study of Islamic religion and the law and order, everything were teaching in the madrasas. This college, see the structure of this college. This college had a 242 feet length. How much? 242 feet length and 222 feet width. 222 feet width and 56 feet height. How much? 56 feet height. Dear student, 3-storied magnificent building constructed in the Deccan style. Isn't it? And so it is very attractive, one magnificent building constructed in the Deccan style. It had a huge library with around 3,000 manuscripts. Around 3,000 manuscripts. Then the college was also giving many facilities like hostels facilities, lodges facilities for the students, teachers and orthodox people. Isn't it? Students, teachers, lecturers and orthodox people were getting lodges or hostel facility for their education in madrasas. Along with that, astronomy, grammar and mathematics, philosophy and political science were studied in this college. My dear students, major subject which were taught in madrasas, which are astronomy, mathematics, grammar, philosophy and political science. These were taught in the college. So this is very important thing, my dear people. Then the sultans developed Indo-Sasanic style of architectural style. When we come to the architectural style, all the sultans from Bahmani kingdoms developed Indo-Sasanic style of architectural style in their construction. So this is the Indo-Sasanic style of construction was the unique features of their architectural style. Got it? And then, whereas in Vijayanagara Empire, when we go to Vijayanagara Empire, their unique feature was more number of emperors or kings from Vijayanagara Empire. They continued their architectural style. The unique feature of their architectural style was nothing but they followed the style of Cholas, Kadambas, got it, and Chalukyas structure. But here, these Bahmani sultans have developed Indo-Sasanic style of architectural style. The Jamia Mosque, built by Adil Shah first, it is the prominent monument even today. It is prominent monument even today. Then Ibrahim Roza, I am telling other buildings. Ibrahim Roza, Gol Gumbaz, very attractive one throughout the world. Gol Gumbaz in Bijapur, and Gagan Mahal, and then Asar Mahals are the important monuments of the time. Along with that, my dear Pabil, these were the attractive places, especially tourist historical places in Karnataka. Then these monuments have made the Adil Shahis world famous. Got it? And also these are attracting the tourists very well. The Gol Gumbaz at Bijapur is one of the greatest structures in the world. It has an area of 1,800 square feet. Which one? Gol Gumbaz has an area of 1,800 square feet. There are 7-storied minarets. There are 7 stories minarets could be seen in Gol Gumbaz in 4 corners of the buildings. But now there is a huge tomb in the center of the Gol Gumbaz, and this is the very attractive tourist places in India. And all these monuments attracted tourists regularly from distant places. My dear student, this is about Vijayanagara Empire and Bahamani kingdoms. I hope that you understood very well about Vijayanagara and Bahamani kingdoms. Dear student, subscribe this channel. Don't miss it. Everybody must subscribe this channel and study well and do hard work. Now take down the homework. Come to the page number 46. Dear students, there are 8 questions. Got it? You should write all these 8 questions and answers in the notes and put these notes in the group of WhatsApp. Got it? If you have any doubt, call me or text me. Got it? Read well. Watch this video 1 or 2 times or more time. Try to comprehend the meaning and the concept and subscribe this channel. Got it? And I hope that you understood very well today's class. And remaining things will be discussed in the next class. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.